Hey everybody in YouTube land. Shifting priorities a bit. Need a wood stove. Have propane tanks that I would be otherwise cutting in half to bring them to the scrapper as prepared number one. Instead, I'm going to turn these, I have 3 of them, the other 2 are over there, into a wood stove. First step is to get the valve off. So here's the rig I have for doing this. Big long piece of pipe through the holes. Big pipe wrench. Go around the back side of the valve. Not much clearance, but there's just enough if you do it right. Get a pipe wrench on there. I don't plan on saving the valves. I'm just going to scrap those. If they get damaged, no big deal. That just freed it up. The next step is I flip them over after I've taken the valves off and let them sit for a period of time. You can fill these with water and that'll take the danger factor out a little bit if that's your thing. This is one of the ways I like to be 100% sure that there's no gas left. Gas in that one. If you can see those flames or not. Try to zoom in on them. That tank definitely still has some gas in it. So I'm going to do a couple of burns on this. It just flared out because of the wind, but I'm going to do a couple more. I'll do one on that one too. And yes, there is my fire extinguisher. And I am outside. Alright, so I've got all the pieces cut. Show you what I got. This is the front where the wood goes in. This being the top, I left some meat here so that the smoke won't come barreling out at me. The bottom is cut low so I can get right in there with a shovel and scoop out the ashes when I need to. This is the back. Just so happens, like others have discovered, this front propane tank is just slightly bigger than this one. So it's going to be a nice tight joint because I can just slip fit it and weld it. Perfect. I'm going to have plus or minus 19 inches inside, which is fine for the size of the room that I'm going to be heating with it. And then I'm going to do this baffle, which is going to mount inside here. Smokestack's going to come out here. The baffle will sit here. Smoke will then have to go from the fire down here over, up, into, and then up, which will help with efficiency, keeping the heat in the stove as well. That's that part. Of course, that's part of the propane tank. Then the door is the odd end of the third one, and you can notice that it fits beautifully snugly over that. In fact, it's going to be probably almost as good as a cord type seal. And I have an almost flat and almost flat to work with here, so I can use some simple hinges and weld these two. And it's so tight you can't even get it off. And that's that part. For the legs, I'm going to use the tops of the lids. It'll sit something like that off the ground, which is perfect. Alright, so I've got a ring made out of this steel, same steel, for my pipe that goes out, the exhaust pipe. And I just took this in a vise and bent it to the smaller radius. It's not a perfect circle, it doesn't matter because the pipe will make up for the difference. And I fit it to a piece of the pipe that I had, so it fits real snug. It's perfect. And I need to cut a round hole in this, which is challenging. I tried the jigsaw with a metal cutting blade, but it's an old piece of crap Black & Decker. It's not anything worth using, so it doesn't have the strength to do what I need to do. So I'm doing it with an angle grinder. Just wanted to show you how to cut a round hole with a As you can see, I've got this welded up. with a baffle in. I think that's about the angle you can see my hand in here. I think this is going to be enough airflow for the exhaust air to go out and up this duct. No, it's not really very tight. In fact, it's probably enough, about an inch of surface area all the way around. Exhaust will go this way, but so what? It's only a little bit. This will help a lot. Looking down from the outlet, you can see that. Pretty nice. Now I just got to get the two pieces put together. Alright, so here's what I've got. Took an old brake drum, sliced it here to have room for the cover. It's going to look like that. Pretty slick. Nice good snug fit when it's closed under pressure. I think it's right there. What I'm going to do is set it there, weld that like that on the corners, I'm sorry, in the middle of each of those hinges. Take a hammer and beat the sides of the hinges down, trying to keep it free of movement. And that'll give me open close. All the welding's done. It looks a little cruddy right now because I haven't cleaned the tack and I haven't ground it. And I am going to do both after I clean it up a little bit. I'm going to make a lever for the door, put a through bolt on the back side of this, weld it, a through bolt coming out of here with a lever and a side piece that comes out and holds it, a piece of angle iron or something with notches. So I've got fully closed, light position, so 2 notches I guess, or maybe 3 notches, and then of course fully open. Next step in the process, this is the air control for the front door. It's going to fit in about like that. It's actually going to be a little lower than the thing, but that's okay. Just a nut welded to a piece of steel that's going to bridge this gap. It is going to block the opening a little. I'm going to drill a couple of holes in it, get a little more airflow, and experiment with it. If I have to open it up more, I'll put in a different piece, but this is it for now. Weld that in. Anybody who can correctly identify where this piece of metal came from, my hat's off to you. If you're watching my other videos, you'll know exactly where this came from. Big chunk of 1/2-inch aluminum. The only reason I use it on this is because I've got no better project for it at the moment, and if I ever need it again, I'll put something else on there. So here's what I got. Welded in. Ugly welds with that little gasless MIG, but they work. Here's the air control, as you can see, as I thread it in. Gets tighter, closes the gap, controls the airflow. Pretty cool. It goes all the way to flush, so I can close it right up. Alright, hinges on, door opens nice, closes nice. All that's left to do now, I welded a bolt coming through here with a washer on the back, so there's no air leaks there. Got this already sort of ready to go on what it came from, but hey, gotta take a piece of angle iron, like so, put in some notches, I'll put it out to about here, and then we'll be ready to start a fire. We have a successful fire. Smoke billowing out the top. Hard to do with one hand at the moment. Nice cranking fire. I may reduce the length of that plate. It looks like it might be interfering with loading wood into the box. I may cut that back a little bit. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with everything else. That latch is easy. Unlatching is still a little tough because you can't move it, but if I put my thumb on it, it goes. So for now, working pretty good. I got it cranked wide open because I just started it, but just starting to get hot up here. The rest of it's been smoking a little, so that's good. The paint's burning off. Just got done with the first burn last night. Took it in the garage, friendlied it up, get rid of all the sharp edges all around. The vents off for painting. I took the wire brush wheel, that baby right there, and gave the whole thing a once over as much as I could get. Get all of that old paint, or as much as it would come off, and rust and the like. Time for some paint. The finished product. Pretty good, really. The welds turned out nice with that flat paint after I ground them and cleaned them up. Got a nice spot on the top for cooking stuff or heating water or whatever. Incidentally, this actually stacks on its back. I can stand it right up on its back. So for summertime storage, after I clean the ashes out of it, I can stand it up against a wall and take up a lot less room. Clean that all up. Made it nice. The paint's still a little fresh, so I'm not going to close the door all the way. You can see my air control set up from the back side. And the inside of the stove. Not a bad looking unit. If you like these videos, subscribe, tell your friends, share it, all those wonderful things. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.